Aatrox has not been seen in the jungle that much. It has been a favorite of Beishang in the past, and he's done some very disgusting things with it, but it's going to be a real treat to actually see it being selected in Season 11. So far, the first Aatrox jungle we have seen anywhere between Kespa, NEST, and now the Demacia Cup.
Like I said, you can't count it out. You have to be aware of that. So you're kind of walking into that thinking it's the Kennen into the Aatrox. Now you're looking at a Kennen into an Aurelia. A hell of a lot more favorable matchup for the Aurelia if she can get snowballing. So Yuri's got to be on his toes. He's got to make sure that he's got his happy feet, his dancing shoes on. Because
versus the Kennen to the top side. So we're going to have a very top lane focused side for WE, and I expect a lot of ganks to be heading Yuri's way.
Yeah, and if Yuri can weather the storm, though, you're looking at a Kennen that, with the right flank, can just set up so much destruction and chaos for the side of Team WE. So it's very much, like you said, depending on how the top side goes on either side. If the Kennen can wait, kind of weather the storm, keep himself relevant, keep himself in that kind of, 1 to 2 item kind of, threshold, he will be able to do just as much damage, if not more, to these team fights against Team WE. But on the other side, of course, you're looking at an Aurelia, Orianna, Aatrox, the Kaiser shotgun. There's a lot of team fighting potential from both these sides. It's kind of, like you said, on the top side early game, and I'm very excited to see how they both kind of, fare as we go into the game.
To put some notes onto CMG's team composition, they do have very good sniping potential because WE only has one real front line in the likes of the Alistar, and that leaves everyone else to the potential snipe down of the Jhin combo. You have to remember that Jhin with the curtain call has a 300% execute, so targets with low health to begin with, they really take the brunt of the damage here. So I think the game plan for CMG is, hey, if Breathe and Beishang are in the top lane, we can just open up on these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they said, on the analyst desk, there's definitely opportunities here for CMG. Unfortunately for Danny, there was no Akali picked up here for CMG, so he loses that point. Still got to see if the Baron Steel does come out. I'm keeping score, lads. You gotta keep score. I'm gonna hold you to the words you kind of go in for, and we can see just the ruins being popped up there for Breathe. He has got himself a press the attack, so pretty standard there. Wants to just kind of get those procs going and just be as annoying as possible with those true damages.
Yep, press the attack is more favored over Conqueror in melee versus range matchup. You have less auto attacks that you're going to be able to land on to the Kennen. But for now, we should be expecting the Kennen to take over a lane as he does in level 1. And maybe once we have the E up for the Aurelia, we're going to see some trades. Elsewhere on the map, I do think that it's slightly favored for CMG in the bot lane. And indeed, we are going to see them trading favorably early on. Oh, wow! What?
You gotta remember, man. This is Breed. This is X-Curse. This is the guy who a lot of his career was kind of favored as one of the best top laners in the LPL. This guy is not gonna just let you take over the lane with that corrupting potion. He's just able to do so much. And right now, this is the the power you get when you get someone like Breed on your side. The flawless duet is able to force him back underneath his tower, and now we might actually see a little bit of an early back right now because I don't think Yuri can do much about this wave.
Yeah, at this point, Breathe is just feeling Yuri out. He's testing his reaction speed and seeing how much he can actually get away with. And this is a huge wave stacked up on 3. I liked Jasmine. He's already here,
but... Oh my god, he's dead.
Oh, it's not soon enough.
Oh, that is... Welcome to the LPL, my friend. This is what you got to deal with right now, and this is the difference between a, like you said, a city tournament top laner and an LPL top laner. That was disgustingly clean.
Yeah, nothing that Yuri could really do there. Doesn't manage to actually have the reaction to flash out of this one. Does get his lightning surge, electrical surge in time, but doesn't have a chance to use the move speed.
God damn, Breathe. Like, just, we're not even 4 minutes into the game. Just calm down. Like, and
Breathe is not breathing. He's
no,
this is no chill top lane, by the way.
No, it's a no chill top lane. He's not letting his opponent breathe. That's the important thing. As we can see now, Beishang into this mid lane, gonna put some damage down onto the Zoe, who has got the heal used. Missing is around. Has got the flash. Gonna use the pulverize as well. Flash has been burned. That is going to be the knockback, and Beishang gonna get himself a nice little kill. Jomong is 2v1 right now, knows he has support on its way, has his flash and his heal. They flash in, the ignite goes down. I think Jomong should just go down to Jasmine though, as he's dead to the smoke screen as we're going back into this. This is a 3v2 in favor of CMG, but now they've got the Shanks coming in with Orianna, is able to keep one person alive. A flash by Jasmine picks himself up a double, but they do trade that one back. The Jin still pushing this one down, has got a fourth shot, but it's still not enough this early in the game, and we're getting the bloodbath that we wanted.
Yeah, I think Jomon going a little bit too hyphy right there. Finally, Yuri is able to dodge out on this one, so he's not going to give up his life with Breathe staring him down here. And I do expect the LPL teams against these semi-amateur teams to just go balls to the wall every single time. You know? They're just playing for fun here. They're going to try and get as many solo kills as possible.
Absolutely. And I think for CMG, like for these kind of, as you say, those semi-pro teams, this is your opportunity to kind of stand up and be counted, stand up and be known for going toe-to-toe with someone. And yes, you lost an early kill on the top side, but you might be able to get an amazing flank off, and how you react to that is very, very important to who you are as a player. Overall, though, Breathe is still sitting very pretty with his Vamp Scepter, so even if he does take a little bit of a bad trade, he's got so much sustain with those biscuits, the Corrupting Bok, the Vamp Scepter. He's just going to be able to sustain for days, realistically, and this wave will crash in, so Yuri will be able to kind of at least get himself a little bit back.
We are most likely seeing the Blade of the Ruined King first coming in from the Aurelia, but bot lane trains, here we go.
Yeah, they're going to go straight into it. Jomong finding out a little bit about the lollipop effect, and here comes Aatrox. You can see him just striding in. There is no flash onto either of these carries now, and the flash comes in from Beishan. They're going to just jump in and see if he can get Jomong. He will be able to trade it back. It's a 2-for-1, and the 80 carry did die. So overall, not a bad trade back, but WE, they're just pushing the limits right now. They know that they are the better team right now, and they are pushing to see how far they can get this advantage.
I like this new WE. Like, the old WE was all about making sure your
Jasmine,
80 carry was fine. He
like
should be fine here.
That was cute. I like that. Knew exactly what he was going to do. Actually forcing the cleanse out of Shanks. I feel like he knew if he had just like eaten that, and the Paddle Star comes out there from the Zoe with the, with the...
Yeah, the extra true damage.
Yeah, the extra 2 damage is probably dead. So good respect from WE, something we probably haven't seen so far this game. But this Aatrox is now 3 kills on the board. He's got himself his first component before his Gore Drinker. He is looking so damn good, and this dragon is WE's.
Yeah, there's nothing much they can do about this, and I like this strategy from WE. It does look like they're changing up their strategies. They are running with their full roster, full supposed starting roster for 2021. And the question we've all been asking is, with Breathe on the roster, with Beisong in a jungle carry meta, how are they going to play like?
The hook landed a little bit too easily there as they're trying to get another kill onto the Nautilus. Will not be able to catch him as there are no flashes available. And again, this bot lane for CMG not looking great. The only positive I can say right now, and actually this is actually a bit of a big positive, is that the top lane advantages hasn't spiraled out of control as we thought it might have with Breathe getting that very, very early solo kill. The Graves is keeping up on farm and is only 1 kill behind. They're only about 300 or 400 gold behind. So overall, this isn't terrible for the side of CMG. They just need to try and stem the bleeding a little better.
Yeah, but it really is coming all from Beisong. Let's just look at this fight once more. We do see the Nautilus go in for the initial engage, does find Jomong, and does finish him off with the second hook. So Jomong not having a great day today, in all honesty. He's just eating those hooks for breakfast, but it doesn't matter. He's getting his jungler fed, and we all know how highly rated Beisong has been in the LPL. Last split, we were placing him as the top 1 or top 2 junglers in the entirety of the region, and now that it's more of a carry meta for this junglers, we really want to see how he can blossom when he doesn't have to look over his lanes as much.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like we said, Beisong is considered top 1, top 2 of, a minimum top 3 jungler in the LPL, a region known for its jungle prowess. You're looking at big names. Karsa pops up there. You've got Ning, who is still a world champion. Maybe not the best as he's ever been, but still very much there. And overall, Beisong has looked fantastic. Meteor, of course, as well for BLG has looked fantastic in previous seasons. So overall, very, very excited to see how he transitions into this meta, how WE then, work around him, and maybe see how he kind of works with his team. But overall, doing fantastically well. Picked himself up a Rift Herald. Great hook there. And this is the pick-off that you were talking about. Shockwave lands on the 2 as they're trying to get those curtain calls coming in. But Beishong and Jomong are here. And that is going to be a kill to the Alistar. They're trying to get the Zoe away. The Killer Instinct comes down as they're just trying to kill off this Zoe. Great flash pickup puts her behind the bars of the enemy jungler as she's trying to get herself away. But while that was happening, the TP came in from Breathe as he picks himself up 2 kills. And I feel like this CMG mid laner just needs to kill himself. I know that sounds horrific, but he does not want to give away these kills. He just needs to make sure. Oh, he's going to give it to Alistar. Yep, there it is.
Can someone give Missing a medal? That was so well played from him. Comes in on the flank, blocks the Jin tower shots, and then gets a 2-man WQ knockup to set everyone up for the incoming team fight. That was just really, really well played on his part, and honestly what we expected out of Missing.
Yeah, here we go. Actually, Slicing Maelstrom is going to be able to pick up Shanks in the mid lane. Fantastic flash hook there from YYC. And now Beishong is kind of in a little bit of a bad situation. He's got shutdown gold on him, but Missing is not going to allow it. He jumps in with the Pulverize down. He will sacrifice his own life to save his jungler. Actually, will he even? Because he doesn't even actually have to guide. Ooh, the fourth shot just about hits. But overall, they're still keeping that bounty on top of Beishong. They do not give that one away, and it's less gold in the pockets of CMG.
Yeah, a lot of chaos happening in the mid lane, but in the meantime, Breathe is having a free lane to himself, sitting pretty with that 3-0 start, and he already has the components for the Blade of the Ruined King. I think we're going to have a 10-minute Blade of the Ruined King, guys.
Oh, that is an unfortunate situation.
There we go.
You are a prophet, my dear Clement. Blade of the Ruined King on top of steel-plated boots. That is a huge power spike coming in now for this guy. As we can see, Jasmine just trying to keep himself in position to be able to kind of, know where the rest of Team WE are going. These plates are very much in favor of Team WE. There's two for CMG. I do believe it's 6 or 7 there for the side of Team WE. So this gold lead very much relying on those plates and those kills. It's hard. It's hard if you're CMG right now because you need to just try and, as I said, stem the bleeding, get yourselves back into this game. And how do you do that from this, such a disadvantageous position?
It is going to be very difficult, and I think it's going to rely on YYC finding those picks. I do want to talk a little bit about this Aurelia pick because after the Kespa Cup, we've actually been seeing a lot of Aurelia's surface in High Challenger. She's one of the highest rising picks, and it is because of how easy it is, how target-rich the environment is, we should say. There's a lot of lethality 80 carries are being run in today's meta, like the Misfortune, like the Jin. So it's actually very easy for her to reach immobile backlines, and we've been seeing a surge of Aurelia. She can flex. She has great backline threat, and in this meta, if she gets ahead, she's basically impossible to stop. There's items like the Sterix Gauge, which gives you a massive shield during team fights, gives you extra HP based on how many people are hitting you. So it's very hard to dissuade divers going into your backlines, and when those targets don't really move much themselves, it's basically open season for Aurelia.
Yeah, the Aurelia has blade surging her way forward, as we can see Missing forced to use his ultimate there. So that is the Unbreakable Will down for a few minutes. But luckily for Team WE, there is no dragon. They were able to quickly secure that one pretty damn easily for themselves. So they are now on 2 Drakes as that dragon is stacking. And again, we're looking down the barrel of a very powerful LPL team against a, as I said, a group of very talented, semi-pro players. But there's a very big difference between the top and the next tier down. And I feel like Team W are kind of showing us that.
Yeah, and right now there's not much CMG can do. With the Gore Drinker and the Blade of the Ruined King complete, CMG are really desperately lacking some form of grievous wounds, or they will not be able to play these team fights whatsoever.
Yeah, that's it. Gale Force finished up for Jasmine's Graves right now. So interesting kind of build path there, just to give him a little bit extra more mobility. Of course, it gives you a little bit extra damage as well. So the extra dash, if you can make it work. If you're mechanically strong enough to make it work, you should be able to get those advantages for yourself. His first tower does fall into the mid lane. Nothing really that the Zoe can do, apart from just kind of, throw out Paddle Star or 2. Plenty of pressure across the map from the side of Team WE. And we've calmed down a little bit. No one really needs to go too crazy right now, as, apart from the early game, as there's nothing really available for anyone to kind of go for.
I would say that this is basically the eye of the storm, but once you see that Turbo Chem Tank done for the Alistar, there's going to be no chill on the map left anymore.
Oh, the Flawless Duet does hit, but so does the Slicing Maelstrom, and there is 3 people up here, Yuri. And you are a dead Yordle, and that is very, very unfortunate. Just didn't really pick his moment. Kind of panicked a little bit when he saw the Flawless Duet coming out and got himself caught out. Jasmine is in a little bit of trouble if he gets caught out here, and almost certainly will. The Hex Flash is there. He has got Flash himself, but I feel like he's not going to waste it. Missing picks up his 4th kill of the game. He is the 2nd highest player in terms of kills. Overall, this is Team WE just flat out being better.
Yeah, and honestly, they're playing with respect, you know? That was a pretty well-timed solo in the top lane. Like, Breathe definitely could have taken those solos earlier, but he was basically just waiting for his teammates. He's trying to play the correct style of game plan right there. Talking about Missing and his Alistar, Missing basically played 1 game of Alistar last split, and it was the most amazing Alistar ever. Everyone instantly put him Alistar as pocket picks, and people were even throwing bans at that Alistar just because of how good his 1 game of Alistar was. He was a great roamer. He was always willing to use his Hex Flashes very early on to get past terrain and to find those picks that other supports honestly wouldn't be able to. And with Alistar in season, it's just another plus for W.
And this is the thing as well, like, Missing has always been a fantastic support for Team WE. It's been unfortunate that the Team WE squad itself hasn't really fully formed itself to be, you know, the kind of roster that you would see him so often, but he's been consistently, throughout the seasons, throughout the splits, a fantastic top 3 support in the entire of LPL. And overall, like, this meta seems to be kind of, you know, finding itself into a nice little Team WE niche with the acquisition of Breathe, aka Curse. They're finding themselves in a very, very strong, you know, kind of position coming into this next split. But Rift Herald has been started. They are going to use it straight away onto Missing. They're going to see if they can just try to dissuade this one as much as they possibly can. Kennen will not be able to get that Slicing Maelstrom. Has to flash away just because of the damage. Another great hook, though, from the side of CMG. Does see them pick up the Alistar. Flash is being burned left, right, and center. There's the shotgun we talked about as they try and get Jomong in on top of this. He gets so much damage down on top of this 80 carry Jhin, but overall it's a 2-for-1 in favor of CMG.
That was amazing by CMG. Honestly, I think their target selection was spot on. You know, they take down the front line first, and then everyone else is pretty easy pickings for the likes of Leon. You know, he's dealing massive amounts of execute damage, has that extra move speed with the crit to kind of kite back this composition, and they get away from a situation where W was dominating.
And these are the small little moments, the small little, you know, glimpses of light. You just got a huge shutdown there onto Beishang. You just got a hell of a lot of gold there onto your team. And that kind of brings you back into it. It's no longer a 6,000 gold lead. It's a 4,000 gold lead. CMG just need to find themselves maybe a little bit more of that. And I got to give props to YYC. He has been fantastic so far on this Nautilus pick, and I really do enjoy seeing him on it. But unfortunately for Yuri, he is being picked on right now. I'm pretty sure he's going to break Twitch's terms of use for bullying if they keep going on top of this. The shockwave does land as well onto Jasmine. He will be soon to follow. And Team WE, they just knock him straight back and say, by the way, guys, we're the LPL team here, and you are not getting away with those team fights again.
It's so damn terrifying playing against an Alistar that knows how to use his Hextech Flash, man. Just going over that thick wall on the side of the Dragon Pit, that's pretty much the thickest section of that wall. Passing it like it's nothing, and perfect placement from Shanks to catch up those kills as well. We are seeing a terrifying WE. This is going to be a WE in the next split that's going to be able to play through the top side. They're going to have a very diverse champion pool. And honestly, we're seeing WE move from 1 carry on the map to what it looks like 4 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at Missing, Beishang, and of course Breathe up on that top side. Jomong hasn't had the best game today, but we have seen him in the past be able to pull out those massively clutch performances. Now, of course, we're talking very much of the future. We still have to get through the Demacia Championship group stage ourselves, but overall, looking very positive for Team WE. And for the side of CMG, you just kind of have to find silver linings right now. Your Leon isn't doing too badly on the Jhin. As I said before, YYC on this Nautilus has looked actually really damn solid and really kind of great at keeping his team in these engages. So overall, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you do need to try and find those silver linings if you want to try and keep having a chance in this game.
I think we're going to see W shift their gears just a little bit more. We have the Turbo Chem Tank done like we were talking about. One of the favorites that we see Alistar bringing right now. And yesterday, we also saw how well Cold played this. You can go through terrain very easily with Hex Flash. You can dive towers without really losing much HP with that unbreakable will. And you're just so damn fast on the engages as well. What we're going to see W do is just push down that mid, and their speed at rotating to side lanes is going to be unparalleled.
If Team WE, I'm going to put you on the spot, by the way, just so you're aware. If Team WE are able to continue this kind of run of form, if the meta suits them, are they Demacia Cup, kind of contenders? Would you put them in your top 4?
Oh, geez, that's a really tough one.
It is. That's why I
don't have. Yeah, I don't have W on my top 4 teams right now. I still think Top Esports is going to be the tournament favorite overall, especially with adding a new support in Zuo. He's basically the highest ranked Chinese player on Korean solo queue for a while. And that team is stacked. Like, WE might look very good right now, but you have to remember that there are still small fish, big fish in a small pond, as to say in this group. When you have the LPL heavyweights come in, I think it's Top Esports.
That's very, very fair. We'll see how this tournament does develop. Of course, there was a nice little moment there of respite as the teams kind of just, reset themselves. Rift Herald has been dropped into this bot lane, does pick up a tier 2 in favor of Team WE. They now have themselves a 7,500 gold lead, and they are setting themselves up for potentially another dive into this mid lane. You can see Missing with that Hex Flash just situating himself into a position where he knows he might be able to just find a catch a lone Leon. He does jump over, but nobody's really there. They will get the Infernal Chains and the flash down off of the Zoe. So you're just burning summoners. Little small advantages that make it so much harder to deal with when we come into those bigger fights around the Dragons or Barons.
Yep. And what we're looking right now for CMG is basically for them to have a moments of respite where the bot lane is pushed out and maybe find a teleport for this Kennen. That's pretty much their win condition at this point. Not much else they can do with the side lanes. We're seeing them being very, very grouped up because they know they can't out-rotate WE coming from the mid lane itself. So we're going to have a bit of a lull right here, but CMC trying to find that pick. On the Alistar, probably not going to work.
TP, though, on the backside. The Zoe is deleted from Summoner's Rift. They are trying to get the Kennen here, but it's a 5v4, and they are being corralled. They're trying to just keep them away as much as they possible. WE respecting the fact that the AoE is still there from the Kennen. They don't need to go for anything else now. They know that the poke damage around that Baron is dead with the Zoe now off the map, and they can now look towards this Baron fight. And there's a shockwave, and there's the heal. Oh! They get the kill. Shanks able to pick that one up. They will just force the fly, or the cleanse, I should say, out of Shanks, as here comes the curtain call. Not able to quite get it. There's the flash in with the Vanguard's edge as Beishan picks up Jasmine on the backside. The Jhin does find the Orianna as he's now running away for his life. He will not find anywhere safe to be, though. He knows right now that Breed is breathing down his neck, and he's just going to use his time as effectively as he possibly can. Tries to keep the minion waves from pushing in, but overall it ends up being a one fight for Team WE. They are going to turn straight onto the Baron, and you can start to feel like the writing's on the wall.
I just had myself a good laugh right there at Bad Luck Brian. Shanks just walking around the corner thinking that he was going to finish off the kill, but Jhin pops him instead. He's going to be the only death so far in this WE team fight, and they should be able to secure this Baron.
Oh, Zoe, what are you doing, my friend? You can't be walking up to that. Killer instinct means that you are definitely dead. Flash in, slicing Maelstrom is able to take down Missing. They do pop the Zhonyas as well as Beishan is in World Ender. Mumong has a lot of damage and picks himself up a double. They will not be continuing the chase onto the Nautilus, but overall it's Team WE from strength to strength, from power to power. Jasmine trying to go for this dragon as quick as he possibly can, but there's a Shanks and there's a Beishan around that corner. You can see the Nautilus trying to play bodyguard. They're trying to just get on top of this one. Beishan, this dragon is going down to see if they can go for it. Ooh, deleted right there as Shanks picks himself up his third kill of the game. And there's the Aurelia. You thought I was missing. Ha ha ha. How wrong were you? Double kill for Shanks. Baron, Mountain Drake, a 10,000, 12,000 gold lead. And the game is almost everything except done right now.
every single lane it should be winning at this point, and WE is just steamrolling like we expected. But doing so in style, I think, is the most important part, and also just showcasing how they can play through multiple carries on the map.
Oh dear, that Vanguard's Edge, just the final knife in the back of that Zoe, and it just completely sets up everything. Now the deaths are staggered, now the respawns are staggered. You're not really able to get your full team going, and Baron Buff still very much in the back pocket of WE. They get themselves one inhibitor, they're going to get themselves two inhibitors, and now they are on to the Nexus. This has got to be the final fight. Missing jumps straight back in. The Vanguard on the backside trying to see if he can get some breathe, picks himself up. His 5th kill still yet to die. A perfect KDA. These Orianna Shockwave misses, but it does not matter. He does eventually go down. The Aurelia falls. They're just going to play away from the Nexus, and that is going to be everything for Team WE. 25 minutes, just under, and they will destroy CMG.
That was such a disgusting last team fight coming in from the Aatrox. He was tanking Nexus towers. He was going a little bit into the fountain.
Number 2 team.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at this group, you're really thinking the stronger teams are going to be WE or IG. But unfortunately, if IG are not running Rookie, then I think that priority passes down to maybe RNG's roster. They do have their full squad right here. Everything from Xiaohu to Wei to Crying to Gala to Ming, they're all in place. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there the damage graph. And Shanks, despite not having the most flashiest of games, definitely put down the fair amount of damage that he needed to do. And funny enough, actually, Yuri almost got the same amount of damage as Breeze